So here's what I'll tell you to do. Reflect on a recent yes, a time that you say yes to something that it should have been a no. What made you make that decision? Was it fear? Was it the need for approval? So this week, let's commit to one act of choice this week. You choose, however small it may seem. You're going to let your yes mean yes and your no mean no, regardless of what you think someone else may think about it. Proverbs 21:25 tells us, the fear of man bringeth a snare, but whosoever putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe. This is a reminder that our self-worth and our decisions should not be anchored in others' opinions, but in our own faith, in our inner truth, and our desires. The superwoman myth is a seductive lie. It tells us that we could and should do it all. But I ask you, at what cost? Media and society would have you to think that you're not doing enough as a woman, as a wife, as a mother, or an employee if you're not constantly running around like a chicken with your head cut off. Keeping that stress is a badge of honor. Losing your hair, or not eating right, or not exercising, or taking time for self-care. Some women walk around like that's a badge of self-honor because they are people pleasing. Like, if you're not always tired or busy, then you're somehow on the brink of failure. That's not true. The myth of doing it all or having it all while working out and keeping a clean house, saving money or spending a lot of money, and having the best, most exciting lovemaking of all time is a lie with omission. This myth doesn't include the stress and the anxiety of unmet expectations, the fear of failure or looking weak or letting other people down. It doesn't include all of that when you put on that cape. For me, the fear of looking lazy is what kept me in people pleasing to the degree that I was for so long. Where is it written that we are not having success unless we're hustling harder, or we're grinding, or we're burning the candle at both ends? In my own life, I've learned that true strength lies in vulnerability, in admitting that I can't shoulder it all alone. I'm not in this world alone, right? It's in this admission that you find your true power. You don't have to do it all by yourself. The Proverbs 31 woman didn't, and we all look to her as a beacon and a guide, right? She is the absolute model of a successful woman with a business, a household, and a family. But she delegates tasks to other people. She plans and prepares for her family and her household by hiring people to do the jobs that would distract her from the other activities that only she can do, the activities that add wealth or would benefit her household or her family. Not only is the Proverbs 31 woman a woman who has developed a community to help her to achieve and create the environment she desires, she is a future thinker. She's able to develop her goals and create the plans to achieve them because she minimizes her stress and the desire to do everything herself, right? If you don't have a community right now, you can develop one. You can use vulnerability and ask for help. No one can read your mind. If you don't ask for help, then you probably won't get it. You can join an in-person or online group of people with the same interests and goals, but I don't suggest, and you need to be cautious of this, of joining a group or getting with people that all they want to do is get together and complain because you have the same problem. That's not the group you want to get with. Join a group of people that you can get solutions for your problems from, or you can find encouragement or accountability. Here's another thing that you can do. Identify one area in your life where you're stretched too thin. Now, this is contemplation. And is it work? Is it family? Is it for your personal goals? Choose one task in one of those categories, whatever is causing you stress, and then delegate it to somebody else. Release it this week, okay? And then watch as this act of letting go opens up space for growth and healing. You get more time to think about what it is that you want to do so that you can make an action plan. Never do anything for anyone who can just as easily do it themselves. This quote was from Amelia Earhart, and it highlights the importance of delegating tasks and not overextending yourself in the context of people pleasing. It inspires us to actually empower others to take responsibility for their own actions and the task when it's appropriate. And, as a business owner and as a leader, it's important to allow people to operate in their talent. And if you have a business, that's really difficult for you to relinquish some of the activities in your business. But if you want your business to thrive, if you want your business to scale, you have to learn how to delegate. Okay. And that leads to peace. Because in the pursuit of pleasing others and wearing that cape of invincibility, you forget that the one person who needs compassion the most is you. You need compassion. You need to be nicer to yourself, kinder to yourself. And just remember, self-care is not selfish, it's essential. It's in the quiet moments of self-reflection that you rediscover who you really are. And you get in sync with your purpose. You get to find out what it is that you want to do, what it is that you have a talent for, and what God has been leading you toward all along. Self-care is one component of self-worth. Because when you value yourself and you value your time and you show other people how to treat you, then they'll begin to value you and your time even more. So by taking self-care, it's not just an action that's going to benefit you personally, but it's also going to show people how to really be nicer to you. And you always talk about that people don't appreciate you. You have to appreciate yourself. I felt guilt with self-care. When I first started practicing self-care, taking an hour or two for myself for self-care, it kind of felt like I wasn't supposed to be doing it. But as I kept taking, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, until it grew to a regular routine of self-care, that guilt started to diminish. Because you know what I realized? I realized that everyone can manage themselves and the house won't burn down if I take time for myself for just a couple of hours. The people and the activities that you think that only you can handle will adjust to the new concept that you have of yourself for using self-care. When I first started practicing self-care, it was just me going outside and walking. I mean, I really hadn't been taking self-care, so I really didn't even have active workout clothes. I was in jeans, shorts, and a t-shirt walking. But what I did was I let everyone know, hey, I'm going out. I might be 10 minutes, I might be 15 minutes. But listen, don't call me, don't text me, don't share anything with me while I'm out this 15 minutes. And that does take some work because I made sure that I did what I was supposed to do before I left.